I just got a chance to see the movie.
Yeah.
And woo-wee!
I know the title is a partial spoiler if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, but I mean, it was impossible to make the title completely spoil-free. And my philosophy is, if he's talking about it, I'm talking about it. But this isn't the whole spoiler. So, if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, and you don't want to be spoiled any further, then I suggest you move sharply to turn off this video. And while you do that, I'll cut to Wesley Snipes talking to Entertainment Weekly this past weekend at Comic-Con about prepping for the role.
Yeah, we had to work out. We definitely had to get the body right, and my biggest concern was being in condition enough to deal with whatever the action was. And they didn't really tell me what the action was going to be, so I prepared for whatever that was going to come.
Okay, so I assume those who wanted the split have. So I'm going to let Ryan Reynolds do the rest of the spoiler.
And finally, my friend, Mr. Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, 20 years after his last appearance as Blade, Wesley Snipes returned as the vampire hunter in the now box office smash Deadpool and Wolverine.
It started with a text from Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, wow.
And I saw a text and it says, I want to talk to you.
Just as you might have forgotten that Ryan's Deadpool and Hugh's Wolverine already shared the screen in 2009's X-Men Origins Wolverine movie, here's your reminder that Ryan was actually in the third Blade movie, not as Wade Wilson, but as, what's his name? Hannibal King. Okay.
No help here?
He called and told me, he said, I have this idea. And he told me what the idea was. And I was like, I don't know how the hell you're going to pull that off. It's very unlikely.
Now, I'm guessing that Wesley's skepticism is based on one of two things, or both. Wesley's cameo comes in a scene where there's other big stars playing their superhero characters again. So he could have thought, there's no way you're going to get everyone to say yes to this. Or he could have thought, it's going to be impossible to coordinate all the schedules.
It looks like you brought your own hat, Mahershala. You did? What is that?
Or Wesley's skepticism could have been based on the fact that Marvel had already announced at Comic-Con 2019 that Mahershala Ali would be playing Blade in the still upcoming reboot of Blade. So why would they want the former Blade to show up in this movie?
I didn't think that Marvel was into it, Disney was into it. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it certainly surprised me that Marvel gave this the okay. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I found some bootleg footage online to at least see the context that this cameo happens. And it does make sense in the context that it happens because it is alongside other big stars playing the superheroes they've already played as well.
I said, well, if you can make it happen, sure.
Yeah.
I'll come and do it. And he was like, really? I was like, yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. I did not think it was possible.
And yeah, it's great that Wesley got that moment in the film and at Comic-Con.
This is the first time being here for a Marvel film, and it's a little different because they do it very big between Marvel and Disney. It's very big.
Yeah.
Very big. Makes you want to do more Marvel films.
Yeah, with Mahershala's Blade project going through multiple directors and writers, it did make me wonder, does this put the new reboot in even more jeopardy?
The fact that all these people are standing here on stage with me is unbelievable, and in front of you.
Well, Marvel president Kevin Feige said during Deadpool and Wolverine interviews that, no, that project is very much still in the works.
We've been working on a Blade movie for very long, and aren't going to start that movie until we've got it exactly right. But Eric Pearson, who's a great writer, is working on a draft right now. That is very exciting. But we won't get too excited until it's really all there, because Blade's a very, very important character for us. And Mahershala is an amazing actor who walked in one day and said, I think I want to be Blade. And we want to find the right way to do that.
And Wesley is supportive of Mahershala as well.
I shouted him out, told him he's got all my blessings and support. And I even, referenced the fact that some of the challenges they're facing now with the project, it shouldn't be credited to him. It's not the actor's fault. There's a lot more that goes on with pulling this Blade stuff off.
No one was attributing the Blade delays to Mahershala, Wesley, except you just kind of did it there in a way. Now, the only thing I think with this is that it potentially undermines or makes it more difficult for Mahershala to sell audiences on him playing the role. Because sometimes the conversation about a reboot project is that why isn't the original actor playing the role? So to kind of put this back in audiences' faces, potentially you create that conversation again, which I just think is unfair to Mahershala. I would hope that Mahershala knew about this cameo happening beforehand. I doubt he did.
I couldn't reveal that I was traveling for this to my family. So it was quite an experiment.
I hope it doesn't bother Mahershala. It would kind of bother me. But hey, if we're comparing acting abilities, there's a reason Mahershala has 2 Oscars, Wesley. He'll be fine. What do you think of Wesley's cameo? And by the way, it doesn't sound like the 62-year-old really wants to do another Blade movie, as he talked about the process of filming this one.
Very, very tough. Man, it was so cold out there. My nuts shriveled up to about that, brother. Doing action scenes in like sub-zero weather is not easy and not good for your health, that's for sure.